So the RZZ, RZZ, mid-rear turbocharger. Okay. BRZ, 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 the 4C, Skyline from before, like an old time ago. The AMG from before again. The Lancer and the Suzuki VGT, the Group 3, and then the Supra from before. The RX Vision, the Lancer again, the RX Vision again, and the RCZ. I don't know any of this, I just entered the race. I know that Suzuki's in first place because of the car list, and then maybe I saw the Vision GT, the Mazda. Okay. All these cars are good at their aerodynamics, except for the AMG and maybe the Lancer. Right. So there's a couple of stops in the aerodynamics. Now this is the RZZ, and we're trying to get into the R8 and the RS01 and the BRZ. Okay. Because of the aerodynamics of these cars and the mid-rear turbocharger balance, because of the aspiration versus the drivetrain and the engine balance, okay, we can drive them a little bit like it's naturally aspirated in front rear. Okay. So it's less car than driver. Okay. It's still too much. Okay. You're gonna see the RZZ make maneuvers that only the RZZ can make. So does the BRZ. So does the AMG for all intents and purposes. But I'll get to the AMG in a second. The goddamn R8 and I already lost my son, but you get where I'm going with this, right? It pretty much gave me an injury this race. Okay. Now the game is sped up, or it's in game time, so it's a little faster than real life, and then you just account for the fact that it's just like stationary and not in real life. Okay. Now you see that what just happened? I let them get the overtake, but then I was on the brakes as soon as the turn came up, and then I was able to steer, right, and then shift. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. So, me physically, I am still on the front left wheel. Okay. After all is said and done, and then I am all the way down to the chicane. Because I'm remembering the feeling now. Okay. Now this Lancer gets in front of me, and it's a weird Lancer and it's a weird livery for the Lancer to have. Okay. But you already saw that I drive down low and back, so I can barely see in front of me. Right. Now that's another thing to keep in mind. Okay. My position in the cockpit or the driver's seat in the cabin. Right. Now this Lancer overtakes me again because it's that car that has the less aerodynamics. Now this is a fight, by the way, right, between these two BRZs. Now, the BRZ and the BRZ, not that far from each other, but you can handle the RZZ more than the BRZ, right, because of the wheelbase and the size of this Peugeot versus those Subarus. Now, those Subarus are wider than this Peugeot, but this Peugeot is not that long. So it's a bigger car in the BRZ, but you get an insane response. Okay. And it tells you from the looks of it. The BRZ from Subaru, or the BRZ from Subaru, is snappier at the turns because it has like more right angles and more lines. Now, the RZZ from Peugeot has longer lines and then it's like a smoother turn, but you still get that snap. Okay, so at the elbows and at the shoulders, you're hurting. Right. Now this Lancer pretty much yields and then tells us two Subarus to just mind the fact that I have this aspiration down, right? Liveries or not. Okay, so then I get the overtake. Now I'm seeing these RX visions from Mazda and this 4C struggling, not because of the skyline, but because of the aspiration and the fact that they are for this race as much as they are the other cars. But that skyline messed up the entire aspiration, we overtook it, and then now we're past. Now we're catching up to the front of the car list again. This RX, this Mazda and I, but they don't have it. The thing that they're supposed to have. Now, that's a lot like the AMG. We're about to get into this Mercedes AMG issue, where it does this, by the way. And then we go wide on that other turn like the RX Vision. You see, I'm gonna tell you what's up with this AMG with all due respect. Now that's a Suzuki VGT in Group 3, that's a real car. And that's the Lancer too, by the way. Now the Lancer does that, by the way. Like, you're in a lot of trouble with this AMG, or you're about to be. Okay. I did not know that. I thought the Lancer said, listen, the track is broken because of this aspiration. So whatever it is, it's going to be an accident or an incident. So give them the proper space. Whatever this car is, that I didn't know was an AMG. Now, when I saw the AMG, I thought, this doesn't happen every day. Now, this thing has a weird turn radius. It's got the maneuverability of just all the upper BRZ and the RZ, and even the R8, I would say. Like, it's a comfortable car to drive, like the AMG SLS from Group 4 and Group 3. But it's a long, long car. Okay. Look at that turn, by the way. It has a really funny way of turning. Okay. So I'm trying to get this overtake, and it's just making contact with me. Because of the aspiration. Because of nothing. Okay. So then I'm trying to catch up again, and you saw how this RZ recovers, RZC recovers, right? Okay. And look, you're not supposed to do that. That's a weird out and out, which the AMG is also doing at a long car, right? In like in a weird way. Like, you're not supposed to do that with a car, but we are both compromised. They have a long nose, like a long hood, engine, bonnet thing going on for them, right? And I have a really snappy steering. Okay, so we can both do whatever we like, for the most part, and like in illegal and like wrong and like unlawful ways physically, at a turn, out and out. Okay. We'll go through this again, by the way. Not just anybody drives that AMG, and not just anybody, not to toot my own horn or blow smoke on my own ass and then just like puff myself up. But this BRZ is annoying as fuck, as comfortable as it is, and as much as I like to drive it. Okay. That's the RX Vision, and that's us. You see how we're avoiding going off of the track? Okay. And we're catching up to the fact that we haven't used this car on this track in a really long time for all intents and purposes. Now I went off track there, and then I can avoid the guardrails like way, but I can respond to the... Okay. I have so much advantage. Right. That's the weird Lancer letting me know about the front of the car list. And the fact that there could be an incident with these aerodynamics. So that's a Group 3. Right. Now, I asked the Lancer, is it the left or the right? And then it was like, just go right on these Subarus and then you should be fine. But I have to keep to my left side or right side. Right, no matter what I do. Right. I can't change my mind. I gotta make up my mind quickly, and then that's it. Because I gotta come up with whatever the hell is the move for the incident. And see, I picked the left. Okay. On this 4C Vision and then Skyline incident. Okay. Now I'm still on the left. Here comes the RX Vision. Right. Now, you think what exactly? That I'm doing this out of the goodness and kindness and generosity and then just a good nature and character of my heart? No, I can't physically, mentally, and then just like choicically and technically go from left to right infinitely without giving myself a headache, let alone upping my blood pressure and then losing all consciousness for all intents and purposes, and then just having a fit or a tantrum or a pissy match with whatever the hell it is. Okay, now that was the RX Vision. Here's a Suzuki VGT that I was so excited to race. We'll get to it later. Now here's a Lancer. Same thing going like, listen, it's whatever the hell it is in first place, and this aspiration being all space in the middle or something. Right. The car and the track gives out. I never know any of this, other than the fact that the Lancer said to just be careful. Right. Because the Lancer can maneuver just like the AMG and just like the RZZ me, or RZZ me, and then, okay, have enough, you know, for an incident to be avoided. Okay, so then I tell this AMG, listen, is this my race or it's your race? Right. Because it's a long car and I don't know what they want out of this. Right. So I tell them, listen, I'm on the right and I'm on the left. Now I'm on the right. You and I both know about this steering in the middle of the turn that you're not supposed to be able to do because of this turbocharger mid-rear thing that you and I have got going on. And now they give me contact, and I'm like, okay, whatever this is between you and me, that I already know you having a fit about you being a long car and me being a fast car in the steering response. Right. So then I go out and out, and I pick the left. So I'm trying to stay on his driver's side or just keep things cordial, right? Or just follow their lead, really. And they gave me the overtake again. And I'm like, left, really? And I was like, no. Because the MG does that, right? It's a little bit like the Mustang. Even if it has a handling. Okay. And so then I have the race.